Hey everybody, it's Greg the Gamer. I just wanted to get a quick reaction video out to you this morning. I just watched the Hearts of Iron 4 new expansion reveal, so that's just dropped with the new trailer. If you haven't had a chance, go ahead and check that out. I've linked it in the description of this video. Pretty cool stuff. Germany rework is confirmed, boys. It's happening. It's happening. Gotterdammerung is happening. So we've got a lot of stuff to break down in this video. I'm going to do just kind of a quick over my notes and then look at what the dev diaries are going to be revealing here very shortly. And it looks like the expansion is going to be coming out on November 14th. So grab a cup of coffee, relax, get comfortable, and we're going to break this thing down kind of step by step and what we know. Okay, well, let's go ahead and take a gander and what is included in Gotterdammerung's expansion pack here. So again, the trailer was just revealed. It's very German-centric, of course. If you haven't seen it, I had very Hearts of, or I guess Man in the High Castle vibes. If you haven't seen that show or read that book, yeah, it definitely felt like that. So anyways, we come down here, we can see that the expansion drops November 14th, which is pretty darn quick. I was really shocked by that we were less than a month out from that. And so they've kept this one under wraps, I said, for a bit longer, despite this. So it's like, it's something the community has been asking for, a Germany rework, and frankly, a focus tree for some of the other nations in Europe for like a long time. Don't get me wrong, Trials of Allegiance, I know there's a lot of people mixed on that expansion, if you want to call it that. And there was some fun to be had in it, but all the nations mostly played the same. And I get a lot of the criticism that people had. It was basically a flavor pack for a number of nations and nations that didn't really participate in World War II. So, and we didn't get a mechanic. We didn't get a new mechanic out of it. And for the price, it probably was a little overpriced. So I've got high hopes for this new expansion. So we can see here the developer diary cycle. Week 1 here, starting October 7th. We're going to have Austria. Austria is finally getting a focus tree. That's awesome. As well as Hungary is getting a rework on, and we're going to be going over that on October 14th. You can see the dates here. Also confirmed, we have raids, military raids, which are very interesting. I don't know if those are going to be through the espionage mechanic. Probably, maybe it's separate, which would be cool, but targeted raids to facilities, to resources that you might have, like for instance, like heavy water facilities. If you're trying to develop nuclear technology, would probably be like, no, anyways, that would be pretty impactful. So that'd be pretty cool. Stuff that the Allies actually did in the war. We also have some different features and stuff that we'll go over that in a moment. They're adding Congo in as a playable nation in Central Africa, which is kind of interesting. So I don't know. It looks like they'll be able to kind of form their own kingdom and maybe break away from Belgium. We're also getting performance and modding. Speaking of performance and modding, hopefully they're going to look under the hood for the Axis AI and take another crack at that, because I don't need to tell all of you, but the AI is not in a great place at the moment. So yeah, if we could maybe get a little bit of rework on that, that'd be great. Be going over historic Germany. It looks like Germany will have a few mechanics that we'll go over here in a moment for historic alternate Germany, and then a power mechanic. Belgium is getting a focus tree, which is pretty cool, and new art and achievements, of course. So I'll be doing dev diaries for all of these dates listed here, kind of reaction dev diaries. So stick around and look for those to be popping out on these dates. So if we hop down here really quick, we got special projects. We're going to have a German-themed expansion, something many of you have been clamoring for many years. You have no idea. So Germany's been needing a rework for, well, forever, frankly. Their focus tree goes back to the original game. I think it's a little too much to ask to get a Japan rework at the moment, too. That'll probably be its own separate expansion. But I do like the theming of this. It looks like, again, here's the military raids. So we've got things like Dam Busters, the Manhattan Project, targeted strikes to important facilities. Peenemünde, like the rocket site, for instance. That's pretty cool. And if we move down to Germany, it says Germany will be receiving a total revised historical national focus tree and a host of new alternate historical paths. So that's cool. It did mention in the reveal that there'll be obviously historical Germany that you can play now, probably some added focuses to that so you can bring the Kaiser back. But more importantly, it did seem like they were adding a communist focus tree or a alternative path for Germany. So if you want to go far left, you can do that. So that'll be interesting. And of course, putting some extra flavor and new focuses into the historic Germany focus tree would be most needed. So we're going to see more about that to come. Austria is getting its own focuses. And as it says, resist the oncoming storm, cast off the shackles of an enforced military impotence, and retool your nation around the chosen identities. So it sounds like you can go, the typical 3 paths as Austria. Probably be easier to form Austria-Hungary. Not really sure. Hungary is getting a revised focus tree, which is pretty darn cool. They don't have much in the way of content right now, and they're basically kind of have a backseat in the Axis, whereas they can really have a big impact. For instance, if you can really lean into aircraft production, as Hungary, you can really supply all the aircraft for the Axis during the war. So I'd like to see if they kind of flushed it out and see if you can kind of lean into that a little bit more. Belgium, I'll be getting the focus trees, which is kind of interesting. So I don't really know too much about Belgium, but of course the mechanic of Belgium-Congo and how Congo maybe breaks away or becomes a puppet state, I don't know. That'll be kind of an interesting dynamic, of course. And now getting to the expansion pass here. So I'm a little hesitant about this. But we've had expansion passes before, which is fine. So with Go to Damarong, they're going to be trying something new, they said. So the release will be part of an expansion pass. The expansion passes are a way of both giving you a roadmap for the content you'll be arriving over the next few releases and for letting you sign up for new content when it arrives at a discount of 20%. Now, that is very nice. I do like that, and I appreciate that. I hope that the expansion pack is more of, again, just kind of a roadmap showing us of what is available so we can pre-buy now and save 20% if that's the direction they're leaning. Hopefully it's not anywhere close to kind of their subscription service, though I know a lot of folks that do use their subscription service, and it's certainly an option if you don't want to buy all that DLC. You can save a fair amount of money and subscribe to get that content. So, there's a double-edged sword there, of course. I do like what's been announced here so far. So the expansion pass, if you pick that up, includes instant unlock of 3 new 3D tank models and a music track. And it looks like they're some of the kind of fancier, like prototype tanks, super tanks that Germany and, some of the other like Axis members might have had, or, developed a prototype that they never used in the war, like maybe like the Mouse. I don't know. The Gotoramurung. Oh, and I almost forgot the music track. So it looks like it was Ride of the Valkyries or Rise of the Valkyries, something like that. So pretty cool. So definitely a German-themed music track. Their new music tracks have been slapping pretty hard. I thought they were pretty good. So next, you got the Gotoramurung expansion, which is November 14th of this year. That's coming out really quick. I was surprised they were able to keep this under wraps for so long. So well done, Paradox. Well done. On Q1 of 2025, we're going to get the Graveyard of Empires. Now, this looks very interesting. So this is going to include basically Iraq, Iran, Afghanistan, as far as I know. And this will give those nations focus trees and flavor. And, they did have a role, of course, in the Second World War, much lesser, of course, but I think it would be neat to kind of flush that part of the world out a little bit. And they did also indicate that the British Raj was going to be included in this expansion pack as well, which the British Raj, it came out for what is it, the second expansion for Victory, and it wasn't great. It wasn't great. If you've played any British Raj gameplay, it's not fantastic. The focus tree is pretty terrible. They have added a few new focuses in there recently, but it's not great. So that would be cool to include that as well. So it's going to really make a whole new area of the world, region of the world, something that people would be interested in playing. And I'd like to see kind of how you could make a big impact, particularly as some of those nations that have a lot of oil, and how you could maybe supply the Axis or Allies war effort, maybe even the Soviet war effort with oil, though the Soviets don't really need the oil. And then we have prototype vehicles unit pack in Q3 of 2025. Now this is pretty cool. So these are prototype vehicles that either never got built, or were just, they were blueprints, or maybe they just had a prototype or two developed in the actual war, like the Flying Wing. There was a German aircraft that could spin. It was like a rocket ship with a spinny thing around it, and that could launch up. It was kind of like a tactical helicopter in a way, a bunch of other things. I think there was even a plane, a space plane, written up about that. You could go into low Earth orbit, drop ordnance from space effectively on a nation, and obviously nothing could shoot it down. Nothing could get up that high at that time. So that'll be interesting. Not to mention, with this expansion, and they're leaning into super weapons and prototypes and things like that, we're going to be getting a kind of a rework, I'm assuming, of atomic weaponry, making them more impactful and maybe probably a lot harder to get. Hopefully that's the case. Because it is pretty ridiculous when you are a minor third-party nation and you're able to develop nuclear weaponry. That is pretty ridiculous. But nevertheless, this is kind of what's covered so far. We'll obviously learn more with the dev diaries coming up starting on October 7th. So anyways, I just wanted to give my quick thoughts on things as they stand. So I'll be doing dev diaries starting on October 7th to go over Austria. So check back to the channel soon. Give it a like and subscribe to the channel. That certainly help out things as we continue to grow. And I'll be back with you all very soon. Everyone have a fantastic day. Take care.